Hey everybody, it's time for the first episode of The Cheapest Podcast. I'm the one and only Cheapest Critic, or Max, whatever you want to call me, and I'm with...
Madison.
And Fonzie.
Okay, so how the show's gonna work is we're gonna combine the old Cheapest Critic, the Dark Ages, with the new Cheapest Critic. So we're gonna be starting off by talking about music, the charts, Billboard, and how modern music is completely dead. And then we're gonna go on to talk about movies and recommend a movie for us to watch, and we're gonna suffer or enjoy it. We're gonna start with our Billboard countdown. Here's our top 10. At number 10 we got Fuck You Mean by Gunna, a song that we have consistently put in our memes. Yeah.
I don't find it to be a great song. I think the only reason that it's that high up on the charts is because of the meme potential.
I don't think so. People think it's hot shit.
Oh, well, I agree with the shit part, but...
That's disappointing.
Okay. Number 9 is Malako by Bad Bunny. I definitely mispronounced that. It is the second week. You guys have not listened to it still. Because, fun fact, we were supposed to start this last week, but they didn't listen to the music. So we pushed it back to this week. And I guess they're still not going to listen to it. Poor Bad Bunny. You guys are going to listen to it at some point.
Listen to the next song.
Oh, and number 8 is IDGAF, or I Don't Give a Fuck, by Drake featuring Yeet. It's pretty bad. And this is the main single off the album, so clearly people like it.
Not me.
You like the first minute of the song.
Oh, yeah, before Drake came in?
Then we have the first of 2 Morgan Wallen songs in the top 10. We got Thinking About Me. This is his more trap country song. It's really bad, actually. Might be one of the worst hits of the entire year.
I just saw what number 6 is.
It's Last Night by Morgan Wallen, the biggest song of the year. First country song to be number 1 of a Billboard.
Billboard.
First country song to be number 1 on a Billboard year-end list since 2000 with Faith Hill. So, Morgan Wallen, congratulations. The song is still bad. Okay.
Last night we had the liquor talk. I don't. Morgan Wallen, if you ever listen to this, I do not appreciate you.
I don't think he needs your appreciation. He's living off his money. He's gonna be rich for a long time. Number 5 is Fast Car by Luke Combs. I don't understand why you guys hate this song. It's a good original song. Luke Combs performs it well.
Not original.
I'm saying the original song.
Yeah, the original was good.
Yes. So what's wrong with this one?
Why do we need it? The original was good.
I guess it's a similar thing to like a shitty live action Disney remake, except this sounds good. There's no like obvious like digital sounding elements to the song. Luke Combs performs it well.
So this is a cover?
Yes. You hadn't heard the original?
I'm not sure. Who sings
You
the
probably
original?
have.
Tracy Chapman.
Was it on a soundtrack of a movie or anything? Or...
Don't think so.
Oh, well, if he's number 5 on the charts with a cover song, then get the fuck out of here. It shouldn't count.
He outcharted her. Original version.
That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah. Number 4 is I Remember Everything by Zach Bryan. The streaming is still there.
Fuck you, Zach Bryan.
Well, I don't get it. I don't get it. The song is good. I don't think you guys have actually listened to the entire thing.
Look, the amount that I have listened to, I have heard enough. Okay, I don't need to hear more.
You're going to have to.
I've heard enough Zach Bryan to last me the rest of my life.
Well,
I'm good.
Well, guess what? When we do our Billboard Top 100 ranking of the end of the year, and we do our top 10 best and worst, you are going to have to listen to the entire song.
I know who's going at 100.
No, there's no fucking way. No fucking way. Plus, he has 2 songs. So, fuck off.
199.
Number 3 is Snooze by SZA. It's still weird that this is the second biggest song off that album. I can't lose when I'm with you. How can I snooze and miss the moment? You just do important when I'm with you.
We're just gonna put this entire fucking
This
bit
is gonna
in.
get copyright claimed, Max.
The number 2, we got Paint the Town Red by Doja Cat.
I've heard enough of that song.
It's already overplayed. It's a decent song.
I've gotten enough of Doja Cat.
Well, speaking of overplayed, we got Cruel Summer for number 1 at the second week in a row.
Bop.
It's overplayed.
It's a bop.
I used to think it was a bop. It's just overplayed.
That doesn't mean it's not a bop.
I'm sorry. It's overplayed.
It's overplayed, and in my opinion, it's not the best.
Well, this top 10 best of the year is going to be pretty fun.
You don't like Taylor Swift?
No, I don't.
Well, you can acknowledge if she makes a great piece of art.
I'm still waiting.
Wow.
Wow, the disrespect. So some of the biggest gainers of our week. We got Water by Tyla. Our first scrapped episode was going to be talking about that song. And we actually got a hater drinking the haterade on this song. Can they come out and say their opinion?
Oh, me. Hi. Yeah. Water by Tyla? Yeah. Fucking song is bad. Bad. With a capital B.
Bad.
It's bad. I can't even just... The beat is just so generic. The song just does not sound great. It's just... This is something that would have been released late 90s, early 2000s. It's not...
It's what's called a throwback.
Don't really need it. So it doesn't really fit in with today's standards for music. So it kind of just needs to go away.
I think it's relaxing. I think the Afrobeat, it's a relaxing genre of music.
So you're telling me that you can sit there and you can relax while you're listening to
Make me sweat, make me hotter, make me lose my breath, make me water. Yes.
No, God. I want to slam my face into a brick wall every time the song comes on. That's how much.
You've only listened to it twice. What do you think, Mouse?
It's a song.
You liked it more than us.
It's good for like background music. It's
good for background music.
It's not something that I'd turn on myself.
Good for background music. 7 out of 10.
It's like if you went on to Pandora, not a sponsor by the way. If you went on to Pandora and you found the playlist that they have a playlist on there called Beats Between the Sheets. Just so you guys are aware, that's a thing. That's a thing on there.
So
that would be probably be a song in that playlist.
Well, good for Beats Between the Sheets.
That is a bad thing, because if that song came on during a Beats Between the Sheets moment, instant mood killer.
Nah, so the next big gainer is What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish. The song it's getting radio airplay. I mean, the Barbie trend.
Not a strong Billie Eilish song.
I mean, it's fine.
Billie, get back to your roots.
Did you see her new haircut that looks like a hurricane is on her head? She has like a bunch of green, yellow, and red on the top of her head.
I have not.
So
it looks pretty funny.
So she's going for hot dog condiment look?
Yes. Orga Hills by Doja Cat. That is going hot on TikTok, so that's going to cross over at some point. You just don't like Doja Cat. How many times has she been canceled?
Not enough, apparently.
She's still around.
Little Boo Thing by Paul Russell. Oh, that's gonna be playing on
It's fine.
pop stations for a long.
It's a TikTok song.
It sounds like a Target song.
Yes.
Lose Control by Teddy Swims. I'll take classic R&B any day. Get Him Back by Olivia Rodrigo. Fine. The album really did not hit very well for me. Wild Ones by Jesse Murph and Jelly Roll goes back up to 51. No! Why? This is another scrapped music review segment, but we were all extremely negative on this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys gotta
The silence.
You guys gotta come in at some point.
I just don't have anything to say. These songs are...
Yeah.
Strangers by Kenya Grace. I'm happy to see that rise. That's a good indie song. Meltdown by Travis Scott featuring Drake.
Fuck both of those people.
We got Lady Gaga by Peso Pluma and his gang. That's a good song. It's not gonna make the year-end list, unfortunately. Ski Yee by Sexy Red goes back up to 65. Better Place gets a rebound to 78.
Hell yeah.
Hell
no.
yeah.
Hell no.
God Gave Me a Girl is back at 83. Another scrapped review. Stars Like Confetti also comes back at number 84. It's almost over. And Delhi by Ice Spice is back at 98. Do you really like specifically that song, or do you
like
just
Ice Spice?
I thought you would say that. Time for the big losers. We'll start from the bottom. The Offset Travis Scott song goes from the debut to number 100. It wasn't gonna last. A lot of the Drake songs are leaving. Thank God. We do not want those sticking around. Bad Bunny, in terms of the stuff that isn't Bad Bunny or Drake, Watermelon Moonshine goes down from number 31 to 45. Slime You Out by Drake goes down to 39. The song was shit. Can't believe it's a number 1 song. All My Life goes down to number 32. Please Leave. Your on spot is guaranteed. And that's about it. So, how we feeling about the charts before we go to the debuts?
I hate Drake's songs. I really... and I also hate Travis Scott's music as a whole. So I'm very happy to see that both of them are performing horrendously, as expected.
Well, he's not performing horrendously. Like, he's in the top 10, Drake.
But he's going down.
Don't worry, he has a radio single with Rich Baby Daddy. With Sexy Red and...
Please. Please. Anyone with a brain out there, stop listening to Drake. It's bad. Please. You can listen to pretty much anything besides Drake, man. I go listen to Lil Yachty for all I care. I'd give Lil Yachty more coverage.
Well, guess what? He actually had a song on the Drake album. He wrote some of the music. So we got our new debuts. So how this is going to work, we actually reviewed all the songs beforehand. And I'm going to take our scientific scores and we're going to see which ones are bad and which ones are good. So our least favorite song, by a little bit of a margin, was Burn It Down by Parker McCollum. It's probably here just on the radio, but I don't want to check.
This is the one that I'm thinking about. It's just sounded really generic. There's nothing new, nothing innovative.
Pretty shit. Anything to add?
That's about it.
So yeah, we gave it an average score of 4.6. In second place, we got One of Your Girls by Troye Sivan. I think it's fine. I remember Troye Sivan being better than this. I know he had a song earlier this year that was techno, and that was okay. This one, I'm going to remember it more for the music video, the memorable, rather than the song itself.
Really did not care for the way that it sounded. I can't say that I could recommend it to anybody. It just does not have a great feel to it, does not have a good vibe.
So the final song with an average score of a 6.3 is Too Much by The Kid Laroi, Jungkook, and Central C.
It's a good Kid Laroi song. It feels like it's trying to give off The Weeknd vibes, and I'd say he comes pretty damn close. The only thing that kind of brought it down was Central C, because the British rap just kind of comes in out of nowhere. It just does not really fit with the rest. Like the Kid Laroi and Jungkook sound natural together, and then you just have this British man coming in just spouting off random stuff.
It wasn't random. He was talking about his girl.
It just kind of did not fit. He kind of brought the whole thing down a bit for me. Otherwise, I probably would have given the song an 8.
It's very generic radio filler, which is where I heard it the first time.
Can we talk about Ponyo now?
we gotta finish talking about the music, and then we're gonna talk about the news.
Ponyo. I have so much to talk about.
Fishy in the sea.
Ponyo, Ponyo, you're a little girl. So, looking back,
Well, we're
that song is kind of...
We're not talking about the movie right now. The Kid Laroi sounds better than he has, so there's that. Central C sticks out like a sore thumb on this song. At least he's not embarrassing himself, I should say. Because he can embarrass himself from what I've heard of his discography. So I gave it a 6 out of 10. So, do you guys believe that any of these songs are actually going to stick around?
I do not. And I'll say that with confidence because of the Drake brainwash.
Well, he's falling right now.
He's falling, but he's still got a song in the top 10.
Well, guess what? You're still right because Taylor Swift is coming.
That too.
Taylor Swift is coming next week, so don't expect much of this to survive. Maybe burn it down because country radio, but yeah. Goodbye. Time for movie/animation news. So, the SAG strikes, which is preventing us from watching Madison's favorite duology, Garfield. The Bill Murray Garfield. So, in terms of the strikes, it was expected to have a meeting today, but due to the studios being assholes about AI, they did not meet today, which means that the strikes are still ongoing for the foreseeable future. It would be a very good idea for them to get back and negotiate, because that's what happened. If you negotiate, you can go back to work. It will be faster. But no, they want to play these games. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Like the cast of Hunger Games got a SAG interim to advertise the movie 2 weeks before it's coming out. So now they all have to bum rush the red carpet and do all this ads. I feel bad for them. Really stupid by the studio's part. All because they want to really just use these AI actors and use their likeness. It's just so evil. It's just evil.
The only case where anything like that is even remotely okay is when permission is given. Like James Earl Jones, he has, I think in his contract he put that even after he's gone, they can do whatever they need to do in order to use his voice for like Darth Vader purposes. And obviously after he's gone, they would have to either use old recorded clips or they would have to use AI to make new clips.
Well,
he signed off on that. So.
Well, here's another solution. Just get a new actor. I feel like the people are too afraid to just let actors get replaced. If the actor retires or passes and you want the character to keep going, you just get a new actor. It's been happening for the past 80 years before this, especially in Star Wars, because now, if you guys hadn't seen CGI Mark Hamill, it doesn't look great. And then not only that, but they have to artificially do his voice too. So it's like generated young Mark Hamill. It's definitely uncanny. Like, imagine each other, a CGI version of Madison, and it's that uncanny valley. And then you, like, there's people that are like, okay, let's use AI technology to say goodbye to our dead grandma.
How about you just let her go?
Exactly.
Billy. Billy, you never said goodbye to me, Billy.
It's fine. We can play hopscotch in heaven.
Billy, I have cooked these
Grandma's
digitally.
not playing hopscotch.
In heaven?
Billy, in the digital world, I can play whatever the hell I want. I have cooked these digitally enhanced cookies, Billy. They'll never go stale.
You got Grandma playing Rainbow Six.
Solitaire Siege. So some other news. Invincible came back today as of recording this. Season 2.
Damn, it's
We have
about
to watch
time.
that. It's
Well,
been,
we can't
when was
watch it
aired?
until after.
It aired today, Season 2. And the Gen 4 finale.
We can watch it, we just can't talk about it, right?
Can't promote it.
Yeah.
Guys, don't watch.
Don't watch. Don't do
listen to
anything.
this pot.
This is in accordance to SAG rules. Hayao Miyazaki's newest movie, which ironically we're going to be talking about Hayao Miyazaki movie, released, and it looks pretty good, but people are going crazy from the fact that Robert Pattinson plays a character in this trailer. Best sounds like Willem Dafoe impression.
When Willem Dafoe's already in
yeah.
it.
He sounds unrecognizable though. It's crazy. The movie is going to be out December 8th. I am going to go see it. And it's not going to be one of those Fathom events, so I can pay normal price for it. It would be cool if I could see it in an IMAX theater. That would be cool. Because the animation in that looks spectacular. It's really rare to see actual 2D animation in theaters. I know that we're going to get some soon, thankfully. But that movie looks beautiful. I don't know if it's going to be great. We'll just have to see. Hayao Miyazaki is a very visionary director. Focuses a lot on the visuals rather than the story. We'll get to that later. But I think he is one of the best directors still working.
And is that under Studio Ghibli?
Yes.
Thought so.
The first movie for them in the last 3 years. Have you guys seen what their last movie was? Oh my goodness.
What's going on, guys? Super.
No. Well, that's not it.
So their last movie was a movie called Earwig and the Witch.
Oh, I've heard it. Earwig, I think. What in the fuck is that?
This is made by his son, Goro Miyazaki.
3D?
Yes. And it's also really bad.
Oh,
Oh.
the Studio Ghibli logo and then this plays is just insulting.
Oh my god. Look at it.
This looks worse than Scary Godmother.
Okay, that might be a bit too hard.
Monster House.
This definitely looks worse than Monster House.
Oh my god, what is that?
Oh, you gotta watch the movie for that. That could be a funny watch. Oh my god, this cast is pretty big. Anyway, that was the last Studio Ghibli movie released, and that was released directly for television, except for
Yeah, it looks like it.
around the world where it was released in theaters and then HBO Max. So I'm very happy to see a Studio Ghibli movie in theaters. Hopefully it gets nominated for the Oscar and wins this time. The last Studio Ghibli Hayao Miyazaki film to be nominated for Best Animated Feature was against Frozen.
Oh.
And Frozen won because...
Of course you did.
Well, did I tell you guys? So the Academy, anyone can vote for Best Animated Feature, regardless if they work in the animation industry or not. So we got people that are like, well, I watched this movie with my kid, and he liked it, so that means it deserves to win. They did interviews of the Academy members in 2014, so that it could have been changed. For all I know, fresh new Academy. But probably not, because they made fun of animation a couple years ago. So they were saying back then, this was the year of the Big Hero 6, How to Train Your Dragon, to Box Trolls, The Tale of the Princess Kaguya, and Song of the Sea were nominated. And no shit, the guy said, the Lego movie should have been nominated. not like what are these fucking Chinese things that no one's ever heard of? And that's someone who's voting, and vote matters just as much as anyone else's. My kids, I only watch the movies with my kids. Who cares about
What are these Chinese things? That's so bad.
You know what's even worse? Kaguya is Japanese. It's the Song of the Sea is from Irish.
Yeah, Studio Ghibli is a Japanese studio, isn't
and
it?
Song of the Sea is from Ireland. So it's really disrespectful and racist.
All Asian people are Chinese.
Which brings us to our movie discussion. Justin, you recommended
Ponyo. Well, to be fair.
Okay, so do we want to go through this entire story? I feel like we should. I'm just gonna lay back and you guys talk about this part.
To be fair, I had recommended Lamageddon.
A horrible, horrible movie that I will never be witnessing with my own eyeballs.
It is not,
ever again, I should say.
It is not a horrible movie.
I had to suffer through it once. I'm not doing it again.
It's not a horrible movie. It's literally a fun bad movie.
I like a fun bad movie, but I don't like a movie that traumatizes me with llama egg birth.
It was not even that bad.
Sorry for spoilers.
And
it was
the special effects on it were so goofy that it cannot be that traumatizing to you. There's no way.
I refuse to watch it.
There's no way.
Ever again.
There's no way.
No.
Anywho.
I checked out after that scene, and that was enough for me.
See, you didn't even give it your all.
Anywho.
Oh, I watched the whole movie. I just checked out mentally.
You didn't give it your full attention. It deserves your recognition.
It does not deserve anybody's full attention.
So, spoilers for Ponyo. Spoiler alert.
Major spoilers for Ponyo.
Yes, we're going through the entire movie.
Because Ponyo is the movie that I had to resort to recommending because of this one over here.
You say, like, as a last resort, but come on, it's Ponyo.
It was alright. I think in terms of Studio Ghibli movies, Ponyo is not as good as Spirited Away was, which we watched the other week. Alright, so Ponyo, do you want to help me go through the explanation of Ponyo?
Well, I will go through the explanation of Ponyo. It is about a fish woman.
It's not a woman.
Look, you suggested a movie about humans turning humans turning into animals, and I suggested a movie about an animal turning into a human. So I think it was a pretty fair trade.
That's a very basic reduction.
A pretty fair trade.
That's a very basic reduction.
And because Lamageddon is about what was it, an alien virus turns the humans into llamas?
We're not talking about Lamageddon because you didn't want to watch it. So we don't know.
This is the most we're going to be able to talk about Lamageddon on this podcast. I'm not watching that.
Well, then
so if you want to get out any opinions on Lamageddon, you do it right now.
Well, then you don't get to discuss Lamageddon if you're not going to watch Lamageddon.
Well, discuss how bad it is.
We need to, if we are going to talk about a movie, we need to go through it beginning to end, and we need to have all of us have a refresher. Like, I'm not gonna just talk about a movie that I have no business talking about. Oh, I watched it like 5 years ago.
So Ponyo starts off introducing us to David Bowie on a ship.
David Bowie.
He was on a ship, was he? I thought he was just underwater.
No,
he's on a ship,
commanding a ship
underwater.
So David Bowie is piloting a ship underwater. It's not David Bowie. The character's name is Fujimoto, and in the English dub version, he is voiced by Liam Neeson.
Yes, we watched the English dub version. I knew I needed these guys.
Yes, because I'm not a weeb, so
not a weeb.
Stop! You're going to offend many people.
That's so disrespectful.
You're going to offend so
I'm
many
sorry, I
people.
wanted to enjoy the film
He's
as
kidding.
it was originally created.
They call themselves weebs.
Justin
No.
is kidding, and I don't affiliate myself with
So,
anything that comes.
Okay. I'm sorry, I watched Money Heist in the original. Oh my god, in the fucking original language, and I will enjoy it that way, as it was supposed to.
No, I just have big dumb brain, and I can't read while I watch a movie,
Well-
because then I'll get lost.
Well, sounds like a you problem.
Hey, pal, you just blown from Stupid Town?
Yes. Population me. Okay, so Fujimoto is a man with long, flowing, beautiful orange hair and is he wearing a pink or a red jacket?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, whatever.
I don't know why you're going into so much detail
The point
about
is-
Fujimoto. You got a little crush on him?
The point is he looks like-
loves him.
The point is he looks like David Bowie. He looks exactly like David Bowie, okay? Alright, so he's commanding a ship, and I forget, he stops it at some point. I forget what he's trying to look at, but
It's a very complicated man, complicated plans.
He just kind of be roaming the ocean, I guess.
We don't need to go into this much detail.
Anyway,
So
the character that plays Ponyo comes
Wait.
out.
The character that plays Ponyo?
Ponyo!
Ponyo!
What's
the
a
fish.
So
bit-
there's a fish that comes out of the ship, right? And the fish's name is actually
Wait.
Brunhilde.
Yes.
Brunhilde is the name of this fish,
This-
and she is David Bowie's daughter.
So this is the Dumbo effect. If you guys hadn't seen the original Dumbo in forever, I was doing my Disney villain ranking prep for fucking months, and I was watching Dumbo, and Dumbo's actual name is Jumbo Jr. But you never know, because he's born, right? His mom names him. He sneezes, his ears come out, and all the elephants are like, Jumbo? I think you need a Dumbo.
Fucking got his ass.
And then so they bully him for the rest of their days, and they win.
So he's called his insult name?
Yes, everyone calls him Dumbo, including his friends.
That's
his
like
mom?
Oh,
That's
she
like-
doesn't talk for the rest of the movie.
Well,
that's like how in The Lion King
Definitely
they all call his uncle Scar,
Well, that's just his
naming
name.
him after his defect on his face.
Yeah, it gets a good point because Mufasa is literally king.
Yeah, Mufasa's got that dog in him.
So
Wow,
did they
cat.
name them?
cat.
Oh yeah. Simba is literally just lion in Swahili. We name you human.
So anywho, Brunhilde tries. She wants to get away from her father, so she goes up to see what's up on land.
She falls asleep on a jellyfish and is hoisted away.
Beautiful image, by the way. This movie has beautiful animation. We just get that out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
This might be
I could-
one of the best looking Ghibli movies, especially because this movie goes wacko. It goes insane. It's just the creativity of the ocean, basically the apocalypse going on in this film. So animation gets its props first.
Dude,
So-
it was the water monsters that
Please, let's
hoisted her onto a.
no, because they work for Liam Neeson, David Bowie.
Yes, Liam Neeson's David Bowie.
Yes. Because she
Liam
goes,
Neeson's David.
she goes up to the surface, and we get this little boy played by a Jonas brother, and he's playing around.
That's Frankie Jonas.
You didn't know?
No.
And do you know who plays Ponyo? Noah Cyrus.
Oh.
The Disney, because this is when the
I am
Disney
in
was making the
shock.
dubs.
Yeah.
So he wants to play by the ocean, and his irresponsible mother lets him just walk down this giant hill by himself. We'll get to the mother, The mother.
I got some opinions on the mother.
We'll get to the mother, but he finds this goldfish at the bottom of the cliff, and he cuts his finger on a rock, and the fish licks his thumb, and he's like, "Oh, that's great! I get to keep this little fish." And he really likes this fish. Adorable. It swims around, really cute. It eats his ham out of a sandwich.
Do we want to talk about the drive to school?
so Sosuke is the little boy. His mom is, oh my, she's unhinged behind the wheel.
Sosuke.
Also, I want to just say, I just want to say that it's so funny to me that she just has like the most basic name too, Lisa.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Like they're all like Ponyo,
Like, and they all have
Sosuke.
they all have these traditional like Japanese sounding names.
Well, Lisa is a Japanese
Lisa.
name.
Is it
Sorta.
Lisa?
Yeah.
It could be, yeah.
There's like multiple, like there's a J-pop star named Lisa.
Mm.
The Demon Slayer theme. You hadn't seen Demon Slayer, okay?
I have not.
But yeah, her driving. Good lord, she lives on this cliff.
Yeah.
No concern for the safety of her 5-year-old. Her 5-year-old is not buckled or anything.
Also,
Unbuckled in the front seat, just vibing.
I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but as she's driving, and there's other cars on the road when she does this, she comes into the other lane several times. Like, you can clearly see there's a line that divides, and she goes over that line.
Listen, there's a price for fluid animation, and that's just
Like,
making her unhinged. They just need to make the car as fluid as possible, so it's like working it over.
So Lisa is running late to work, and conveniently, her son goes to school right next door to the nursing home that Lisa works at.
Yeah.
And nobody at the school is concerned that he spends half the day at the nursing home.
Well, so he goes to school, right? They make fun of him because he's weird or something. And he leaves at the end of school to check on his fish. And this fish spits water at his girl bully friend thing. I don't know what the relationship with this little girl is. Spits water right in her face, and he just runs away. His best friends are a bunch of old ladies that are at the retirement home. A couple of them are nice.
Voiced by Betty White.
Yep. And then we have the conspiracy theorists.
Toki.
Yes. Very relatable old
all
lady.
these names.
I remember Betty White's character's name is Yoshi.
Yoshi?
Yeah, with an E at the end.
And then Toki is the conspiracy
Yeah,
theorist.
that's the one that looks like a rooster.
So mean.
It's creative designs. Ponyo spits in her face as well. She's the only person.
The tsunamis are coming!
She's the only one who notices that this goldfish has a face.
She's like, ew. Why does it look like that? Why does it got a human face? Take it back.
There's not a normal fish there.
So after this, Ponyo starts talking. Falls in love with this boy.
5-year-old boy.
Well, keep in mind that she's also like a 5-year-old girl.
Yeah, it's a little weird that they decided to go with the romance aspect.
Is it romance or
As
like
opposed
is
to-
it childhood?
Well, the end, not to spoil anything, but the ending scene is their faces being this close to each other, kind of implying something more than a sibling relationship.
They're 5-year-olds. It's not. Let's just. Okay.
Which I have something to say about that as we get further into the movie.
I think you did, but anyway. Where were we?
Sosuke's at the nursing home talking to the Betty White and the conspiracy lady.
Oh, we missed a great scene with David Bowie. So, Lisa's about to leave for work with her child in danger, and he walks out of the water with a Super Mario Sunshine device to keep himself wet.
Yeah.
And she's like, we don't use weed killer around here.
He does.
This is the finest seawater.
He has no self-awareness at all.
He's like,
It's so weird.
in his Liam Neeson voice, he's like, "Excuse me, ma'am. This is the purest ocean water."
I love how he knows that Ponyo is there. She knows that the little boy has her, and he doesn't do anything. He's trying to explain himself rather than just getting his daughter. Anyway, so
And then they're in the car, and she's like,
get out of my way.
that guy's weird. But don't say that, because we don't judge people on their looks.
So Ponyo pronounces her love for Sosuke, and like the dumbass he is, he drops her in the ocean, and we got creepy ocean monsters, which are, I don't know what they actually are. He creates like these ocean things to grab. I love how the first time we see them, by the
Which
way,
they look cool as shit.
yes, they do.
I would just call them like ocean slugs or whatever.
Yeah, that
maybe.
works.
Yeah.
The first time we see them, they try to grab Ponyo when Sosuke finds her for the first time, and it has eyes,
Yeah.
goes out, and then creeps back, and his response to that is, well, that's weird.
The whole scene with Ponyo being taken away and the 5-year-old boy almost drowning is that the mother is on top of this cliffside, whatever you want to call it, and she takes like 2 whole minutes to get down there.
Not really.
Knows that he's down there drowning, and she's taking the time of her life.
Well, she's trying to be responsible. It's a handful.
She's trying, and she's failing.
So we cut back to Ponyo and her dad, and she decides that she wants to be human now.
She spawns feet that have 3 toes and hands that have 3 fingers.
And
So
she becomes like a frog.
frog-looking thing.
He has to drink his potions or power steroids in order to subdue her back into her original form. And this is really dumb of his plan. He puts her back in with her sisters. Okay, this is gonna be fun. He then goes to his secret lair that is just being established now. And he's like, place is faulty. Anyway, here's my secret potion, my secret well. This is gonna be used someday to take over the world and get rid of humans. Ponyo breaks free.
Immediately breaks free because immediately her siblings eat the bubble that she's encased in, and she breaks free.
And becomes a little gremlin. She unleashes the potion and immediately causes the apocalypse. There's water everywhere. She escapes and wants to run to Sosuke. Just really dumb planning by the dad here. He's like, she's too strong. I must go check on my world domination potion.
Yes, she's too strong. She's the size of my hand, but she's too strong.
Well, she escapes, doesn't she? She fucks shit up.
True.
Um,
I feel like he still could have done a better job. I feel like he's not even trying to search for her throughout the entire movie. He's just like,
well,
is she here?
well,
No.
he knows where she is. Well, like where she's going.
And yet, he's never where she is throughout the entire movie, pretty much.
They never really go into anything for him either, because they only mention that he says that he used to be a human,
Yeah.
but they never explain really how he.
Just the Miyazaki thing.
And he boinked the Angel of Mercy and got
Is the goddess
a bunch of
mercy.
Panyos. Goddess of Mercy.
Oh yeah, we forgot about more of the mother being horrible. So they go home, and okay, to be fair, this is probably unfair. So they go home, and the father's about to come home. He's been out at sea for like months, and he's like, actually, I gotta go on another expedition. Sorry. And the mom is super angry and starts drinking with her 5-year-old child. And it is a funny scene. They signal out to their dad with the boat, and she just starts going ham on the
Fuck
signal.
off, fuck off, fuck off. I love how you see Sasuke doing it, and he's like, okay, that's pretty good. He knows how to signal, and then she doesn't. She's like, he's like, oh, it's like that.
Really irresponsible. Oh yeah, we forgot. So remember, the storm is going on. Apocalypse.
We need a bullet point list for the events in the movies.
Apocalypse is going on, and the only way to get to her house is flooded.
No, she had another way to get home.
Oh yeah, through the mountains.
She's
like,
stopped
no
by
time.
these dudes, and she's like, no, I'm not going to take the safe route for me and my 5-year-old son. I'm going to try hopping across this flooded path here.
And not only that,
And then continue to outrun massive waves.
Not only that, her 5-year-old is like, oh my god, a little girl just fell off. And she immediately is like, oh, okay, I believe my 5-year-old son gets out the car.
Yeah, that was day 2 though, because day 1 was the Morse code. Day 2, it just kind of cut to her being out. He's in school again.
Yeah.
And
he
she's
makes
at-
the fish for the old ladies.
Yeah.
With the origami.
Yeah, and then he goes back to school, and then the power's like out, and it's like pouring down rain.
Okay.
So he goes back.
So
over.
so he has to walk in the rain.
Yeah.
Because his mom can't.
Because the teacher's offering to call his mom over to pick him up,
He's
and
like,
he's
nah,
like,
I
no,
got it.
I'll just take the shortcut.
So this teacher just lets this 5-year-old out into a storm.
Wait. Let's see how old this kid is. I feel like
he's 5.
Oh, he is.
They
5.
established that he's
Yeah.
5. Yeah.
Okay, so what the fuck?
Because he's in like a kindergarten classroom.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just let the boy go out into the storm. He might
He's
make it.
responsible.
Oh yeah, he's real responsible. He just ran away from the school yesterday, but you know.
He knew what he was doing. And Ponyo is summoning the earth and sea to come. All this for Ham.
All this.
So it does create the cool visual for her running, but she falls and she turns back into a little frog thing, and she just out of nowhere, she unprovoked, she comes out of the waves, runs immediately, like books it for this kid, and just gives into a big group hug. Like, and bear hugs him. Surprised this kid doesn't fall
More than
over.
a bear hug, he's latching on. No support
Legs-
on her end. Completely
legs-
wrapped her.
Yeah, she's got her legs wrapped around him. She's completely just hanging on to him like a spider monkey.
He's like leaning against the car. Like, please, you are my size. How am I holding you up?
He does accept relatively quickly. Wait, you're the fish. You're Ponyo. Like, yeah. Mom is like, accept this really quickly.
Yeah, just take this random 5-year-old girl that my son is claiming is a fish that he had yesterday that has now turned into a human child. We're just gonna take her home.
Yes.
And this
Well,
is
it was a
this is
storm,
where
to
this is
be
where I
fair.
have something to say. That's fair, but this is where I have something to say. This child is now in their house.
Yeah.
So the dad is going to come home and see, oh, we have a new child now. I was at sea for months. What did you get up to when I was gone?
That's funny.
It's just funny to envision you're away at sea and then you come back and your wife's got another child.
I was
in the
pregnant
house.
the entire time, you idiot.
Yeah.
That's a funny way to excuse it. So
You don't remember the second child?
To be fair, that is easier to explain than
Then
this is my
everything.
son's fish human
yeah,
girlfriend,
so
sibling.
through the power of love, this fish became a little girl, and she wants to be best friends with our son forever and ever. The kids are running around the house. They're trying to do tasks with the mom. Ponyo discovers stuff about the world. People, Sasuke and the mom discover things about Ponyo. It's cute. For instance, she can fix generators with magical abilities. They can make ramen with ham. I would be horrified though if Ponyo was a thing that actually existed. Like her frog form in between the fish and the like she goes
if you think about that as an actual, like, in real life, that thing just like flapped up to you.
Oh my god. Like, because whenever she needs to do something magical except for contorting her body, that she turns into the frog form. It's scary. But they make ramen. It's delish. They make soup, I think. It's time for sleep.
Which the food in Studio Ghibli films is always immaculate.
Yes.
Ponyo starts to fall asleep at one point, and at first you would think it's because she just had a huge carb overload with her dinner, but I think it's because she used up a lot of magical powers and it really tires her out.
Well, it's more established later on. So now we get this. So originally we think that the world is ending because of this weird potion, this world domination thing. But no. So the actual explanation part, while the world is going to explode, the moon is going to collide into the earth, is that Ponyo is a sea creature as well as a human now. So the nature is now colliding within itself, and it's causing chaos. So David Bowie goes to Ponyo's mother.
But before that, do they cut to that before or after the mom leaves?
Well, I mean, it's the same. Like,
so, I mean, the mom once again has to drive erratically to get back to the nursing home.
Because she needs to be there.
Yeah, because she's going to go try to help people because of what they think is a tsunami coming their way. It's just the world.
So she leaves these 5-year-old children by themselves, including a little girl that is either delusional.
Yeah, you're both 5 years old. That adds up to 10. Yeah, 10-year-olds can watch themselves. I'm out of here.
Yeah, like you just think this girl is like a caveman, or like it doesn't know anything. Either that, or you actually think it's a magical fish. Either way, I don't think you should be leaving that with your 5-year-old son.
Considering she has already proven to be a lot
to handle, yes.
Ugh. Okay, what else happens?
So she's like, okay, so we should let her decide whether she wants to be a fish or she wants to be human. So we should test his love to her. And he's like, wait a minute. Does that mean she'll turn into fish foam? Because that's the ending to The Little Mermaid, if you don't know. So this is based on The Little Mermaid. In the end of The Little Mermaid dies. And
what?
Yeah, so she fails to get the prince to kiss her.
So this is based off the original Little Mermaid, not the... It's based off the Disney version?
Very loosely based on the original version. So, as loose as you can possibly get. This is Miyazaki's version of The Little Mermaid, which makes total sense for Miyazaki. He's weird. A very creative man, though. So, in the original Little Mermaid, she fails to fall in love with the prince, and she accepts her death instead of killing him.
Jesus.
Yeah, because they give her a way out. Okay, Ariel, you can kill him and you won't die. And she's like, no. And here's a fucked up thing. Every time a baby cries in the world, her sentence to suffer increases by 5 years.
Every time a baby cries?
I believe that's how it works, yes.
What does that have to do with her?
She's supposed to spread happiness, I think. Mermaid.
How? now. She's underwater.
She's dead. She's fish foam.
Man.
It's a moral. Don't cry, because if you do, the Little Mermaid will continue to suffer in damnation until
It is a horrible message.
I mean, good message.
Don't release any of your emotions, or else this fucking mermaid will suffer forever.
So in a slice of life sequence in Ponyo, so Ponyo decides to make the little toy boat into a bigger toy boat, and with a functional system. They burn a candle in order for the boat to get started, and they just kind of ride along, and they see a bunch of civilians just chilling in boats. Their houses have been flooded and destroyed. Doesn't matter. They're just enjoying their time to go into the shelter. Here's a fun scene. So they meet this couple and their baby.
Yes, the baby.
Where do we begin? So they meet this couple and they're just chilling. We don't know what happened to their house or their home. They're fine. And they just have a baby who's sick. Ponyo really likes this baby. Really, really likes this baby. So she attempts to give the baby some soup. The mom's like, actually, my baby can't eat the soup, but if I eat the soup, then I can make milk for my baby. And then Ponyo gives sandwiches without ham.
Because she ate all of it.
Yes. To did you guys know that she likes ham?
No, they haven't talked about it enough yet.
To the give the sandwiches to the mom. You make that for more milk. Okay. So
Can you eat these and make more milk, please?
So then they start the ride away, and the baby just starts crying because it's a fucking baby. And Ponyo turns into gremlin mode, runs
Fucking
over,
grabs the baby's face.
and just nestles it, like headbutts it.
Get better.
Like imagine you're that mom in that
You're
situation.
just like, oh, okay, get off my baby, please. My
And
baby
it has
is very sick,
it's
and you are pressing your 5-year-old face into it. This is not making it
even
any
just
better.
a 5-year-old face. Like imagine seeing, okay, it's a normal looking little girl that just stares into your son or daughter, or whatever that baby is. It just stares at it for a long time, and then she turns into a gremlin. It just hops on the water and just starts grabbing your baby's face and just smashes its head against it
Fucking
to the
terrifying.
point where it leaves 3 marks on its baby's face, and the baby's like, "Wah, yay, ooh, that was fun."
I am no longer ill.
So Ponyo loses her magical abilities because this is part of the test, I guess, that Sosuke must accept Ponyo for who she is, a fish. So Liam Neeson is trying to get them to a spot where they can do the test, and it's all good. He already transported the old ladies and his mom to underwater land, except for Toki, who's just walking around. This random old lady who's been in a wheelchair, she's just walking around. Liam Neeson finally is like, okay, we're gonna take you, you're gonna be fine. Ponyo's passed out at this point. We have an action scene running away from the sea slugs, and the best pratfall of all time. Sosuke trips. Ponyo in the bucket of water splashes on the old woman's face, and he does face first into her stomach. And they just get captured. Just the most useless action scene, and they all get taken to underwater land. And the moms are talking, Ponyo's mom and Sosuke's mom, and Ponyo's mom is like, okay, If you love her for who she is, a fish, then she'll.
Well, no, because she's turning into a human.
Yes, but she needs to decide which one she wants to be, or else the moon will collide. It's such a random. That's such a random thing, because if we're like, what's actually destroying the Earth?
This 5-year-old needs to make a life-changing decision, or the moon will collide with the Earth.
I love how that scene is established. Like Liam Neeson's like, you must come with me. Look, the moon is about to collide in with the Earth. Nature, everything's collapsing. And then Toki's like,
You expect me to believe that?
that's all magic in mirrors.
When you can literally see the moon right there.
So, Sosuke's like, yeah, I love Ponyo, no matter what. Even if she is a fish. And everybody's happy. They all cheer. And Ponyo accepts the fact that she'll become human. They all go above water. The dad comes back to land. And then Ponyo, as a fish, kisses Sasuke, and she becomes a little human girl. And that's how the movie ends.
And they all live happily ever after.
Yes.
So, something that we wanted to bring to your attention.
Yeah.
When Fujimoto goes to meet with, I don't know if they ever actually name her or not, the goddess of mercy.
Kate Blanchett.
Kate
I meant like a character name.
Yeah.
I don't think they give her one. When he goes to meet with, I assume his ex-wife.
she's too big. It wouldn't work out.
That's what I'm saying.
She can shrink though.
In the water, she was like a million times bigger than him.
Yeah.
It's like, how are they reproducing?
I think she was like, okay.
She used her human form.
Yeah, but like I think it would have been funny. He was like, I want to be in the water with you, and then he's still small. He's like, God.
So when he goes to meet with her, he initially just says, "Oh yeah,
yeah, don't be mad at me."
He's like, Ponyo wants to be a human. He doesn't say Brunhilde. Okay.
Yeah,
and then later on,
and
he
then
says
later
Brunhilde.
on, when he's trying to get her back, he's like, Brunhilde, don't disrespect your father.
Yeah, well, because the scene, I believe, right? So he's trying to convince Sasuke, okay, come on, we're all gonna die if you don't come with me. So please come with me. And Ponyo wakes up from her slumber, is super mad as a fish, and just spits in his face.
But it's just kind of weird that he calls her Ponyo when he's meeting with the goddess of mercy.
Yeah,
and I
feel like this should be the opposite.
So I assume it's like, she's a goddess, so she knows who he's talking about. But
Yeah.
but still, it's like
it was Sosuke that named her. So why is he calling her Ponyo?
Well, it's okay for him to call her Ponyo in that scene because he's trying to convince her to go with him so they can do the stupid test or whatever. But when he's talking to, someone that he knows without all this nonsense, he should just be using that name. Or they just don't talk. Like she had birth with all these babies. He's like, take care of them. I'm gonna be a I'm gonna be a goddess. So I'm gonna be helping the sea. You can just stay here with all these babies.
Because like, what if he said, Ponyo wants to be a human, and what if she was like, which one is Ponyo? We have like a million fish babies.
It's like
fucking one.
It's like Finding Nemo. Except they didn't go through a massive slaughter. What happens to all those babies anyway? And because they turn into fish.
They all got ate.
But
by the barracuda.
I'm not talking about Ponyo.
Oh, I thought we were
That's
Finding Nemo.
Then they.
Because they turn into fish, and then they turn back to normal, but then they turn the fish again.
They turn into bluefish, and then they turn into goldfish.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they went with the goddess or
they're just chilling until they grow up, and then they can have their own Little Mermaid adventure. You must not go.
So I'm
Because for whatever reason, Ponyo is significantly older than those other fish.
Well, you don't stop at one. You just keep going.
But every single other one is the same age.
Yeah, let's have one, and then let's have 50,000.
And also, she's like the only one that has the magical abilities.
Well, it's because they're small. They're babies. They eat through a magical bubble
Well,
that
the other
contains
ones had
her.
to be magic because they turned into big blue fish.
That she
Well, that's
runs
because
on.
of the potion.
Oh,
The cauldron, the well.
So this movie is kind of a mess, but I think the imagination. This movie is creative as hell, very imaginative. I love the visuals, the animation spectacular, and you gotta have a lot of real brain space to come up with some of this stuff. Like Ponyo's gremlin form is horrifying, but it's also so goofy and fun. Just the kids acting like kids, they're realistic little shits, and I think that's super fun. It's an enjoyable film. It's not amazing or anything. You totally get the experience. It's just relaxing. It's chill. Especially because, despite the fact that it's apocalyptic events, they don't treat it super seriously. Like, Liam Neeson's like, come on, we're all gonna die. But nobody else takes it really that seriously. By the end of it, so you're like, oh, it's just super chill. Super nice.
Don't listen to him, Sosuke. He's a wacko.
Get your weed killer away from my house. What do you guys think?
Decently good movie. I'd say maybe 8 out of 10.
I think
Ooh.
it was easier. It was easier to follow along with than Spirited Away.
You fell asleep for Spirit Away.
You can't.
It was still easier
you
to
still-
follow. I
you
got like
still-
half that movie.
You still haven't gone back to watch the rest of it yet, so you know.
Because
Maybe I
I
will.
did say, hey, we could watch it in a theater, but we weren't gonna do that. It's like
No.
like $35, no, $45 for all of us to go watch that. I would much rather go see The Boy and the Heron when it comes out. That would be a cool experience. I've never seen a Ghibli film in theaters. Wait, did I? No, I haven't. So that would be cool.
So when does that one come out?
December
December?
8th, and it's going to be normal ticket prices, I think.
So like 10, 12.
Yeah. So that's cool. What would you rate it, Madison? We'll give your like little.
8 out of 10.
You have any summarizing thoughts?
Thought visually it was pretty appealing. Usually, a lot of animation these days isn't really like as eye capturing as that was. So it's a lot. It's visually better than, you know, like Pixar or something. Pixar lately,
Well, I think they're experimenting with their art style. I think you can't like Studio Ghibli's animation. No,
I
it's
don't
just
think it's
stunning.
fair to compare Studio Ghibli to any other studio. To be completely honest.
Well, you think like, oh, they're too good. Like it's just such a high
It's
bar.
just-
We just hadn't seen
well, you'd
high quality.
you'd have to compare it to another 2D
Well, we hadn't seen.
animation studio.
Well, there's a problem because there hasn't been another 2D big budget. I mean,
Which
I
is
saw
stupid.
I saw Susume in theaters this year. That was
Which is stupid.
That was really good. That could be a cool watch when that comes on digital. So I'm gonna give this movie actually a lower score, a 7 out of 10. The story is a mess. I do like it is this nice slice of life movie. I would have liked it more if it was just about this little girl, wanting to be a human, and it's just like a conflict of interest basically, with the dad wanting to make sure that she's okay, and there's no big bad, no conflict that involves the fucking apocalypse. You can have the initial like waves and stuff and the insanity, I think.
Yeah, because I think the insanity added to that part of the movie,
So
especially with the mother trying to drive through it.
I think this makes it so fun.
So that's another thing. Since they don't really expand upon a lot of stuff, like you said before, they establish that David Bowie wants to take over the world, right?
Yeah.
And then after he saves the world
Yeah.
from being destroyed,
Well, he
is he
wants
gonna just go back to?
like
Well,
to-
he wants to take over the world. He doesn't want to destroy.
well, he
the
wants to
world.
get rid of the humans because they're nasty.
That was a part in the beginning. I thought it was really going to be about
Like environmental
yeah,
message.
because there was a lot of like litter and
Yeah.
stuff in the beginning.
That's
so
how
I thought it was going to
Ponyo-
be
That's how
heavy into
Ponyo gets
that.
trapped. Yeah.
Well, no, that's. I think they just established that because then he almost runs into one of their ships with a bunch of pollution around it. He's like, "Ugh, humans are disgusting."
Yeah, but
I
then
think
they did-
it's
But then they did
established
nothing else with the pollution throughout the
No.
rest of the movie.
like I said, it's kind of like it's a little scattershot. It's not. I think Miyazaki has never been the biggest consistent story guy. He's just the most creative person in the room that comes up with so many wacky ideas, and
That you don't
Agree-
care about a consistent story.
Well,
because
also,
it's just
like,
so fun to look
his
at.
character arcs are usually like really fun and enjoyable. In this movie, it's just a bunch of kids enjoying time. Ponyo, like, what's a weird scene that's ends up being really goofy with Ponyo, besides like licking the blood. And-
I can bring it back to Lisa the Drift Queen if you want.
okay.
She when they're initially going home during the storm,
Mm.
and the dock guys tell her, "Hey, Lisa, you can't come through here. It's flooded. You should take the mountain road back home." And she's like, "Nah, I gotta get home now." And so she's like she's revving the engine ready to go.
Everybody's like,
They're
no,
They're
don't.
like, no, the water's in the way. And she's waiting for it to draw back so the tsunami's about to hit. And as soon as it's just enough for her to kind of get by, she's like, "Let's go!" And she just drives through that shit. She drives like a crazy person.
Doesn't he like Sosuke nearly falls like multiple times?
He's like bouncing around the car.
And then when he gets out, she stops the car. He nearly falls off the cliff. He would have been fine.
Oh yeah,
Seatbelts
and
and car
that's
seats
another
do
thing.
not exist in this
Toki
universe.
said, "Don't get blown away by the wind," and he almost gets blown away by the wind.
I mean, he would have been fine. Ponyo would have caught him, but oh god, you're just her carrying him around because she's like freakishly strong, probably, right?
And then the mother, when she's driving to the senior center, she's driving like, she's going like past mountains in seconds.
Yeah.
It's like super like really tight curbs and
Sosuke's just watching her drive back to work.
You see
Hey,
the headlights
I
pop
just
up.
see the headlights every 2 seconds just popping through the trees, and she's like 3/4 of the way there by the time it stops
hey,
showing.
can I have some of your ice cream?
Oh yeah, another thing. She tries to
Yes.
eat while she's driving.
Multiple times. I mean,
Well, that, but there was after
that's pretty normal.
after Sasuke's done being a little shit all day by disrupting her workplace and skipping school, he's rewarded with ice cream.
Because he's sad.
He lost
He
his
lost
fish.
his fish.
He just started a fucking.
Nobody cares about Toki.
He had a small part to play in the apocalypse coming.
Well, he didn't know. She didn't know. She thought this kid just lost a goldfish. Like, what a sad day. It's like, okay, I'm gonna give him some
Dad's
ice
not
cream.
coming home, and you lost your goldfish.
Now I need to hear about this all
And
night.
mommy's getting drunk in the kitchen.
You can have some ice cream.
Which did they actually show like a? Was it just implied, or did they actually show like, hey, this is a beer that she's drinking?
It just like she
It's
opens the can
implied.
and it just fizzes all out. It's a
Okay.
beer.
Because you
And
usually
she acts drunk. She's like sad and on the
Yeah.
bed.
She's telling
And
her
it-
husband to fuck off.
That's obviously
You usually don't see shit like that in
it's
kids'
G.
films,
It's actually rated
definitely.
G. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because nothing else happens. It's just-
Well, there's
it's-
blood that she licks.
Oh, that's a paper cut. Children have seen that before.
Well, I mean, Lion King is Lion King rated G. That's really funny.
Lion King. Oh god, it's rated G and just got fucking.
Hunchback of Notre
parents
Dame
dying.
is rated G. If you haven't seen that movie, has an old man gripping a woman against her will and sniffing her hair
Oh,
and
lovely.
talking about how he's gonna force her to be with him or she'll go to the fires of hell.
Wow.
Anyway,
Uh,
I think we can about wrap this up.
But that's just like classic Christian imagery.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ponyo is a little like like she's kind of dumb. I don't know how you're gonna get her to go around the house and help you really much now. She doesn't have magical abilities. Like, okay, you're gonna hold this light, Ponyo. You're just gonna do
Well,
this.
she's got to learn how to be a human now and not a fish.
Yeah, you gotta hold this light.
Which brings us back. We need a scene where the dad comes home and he's just like, okay, I guess I'm the parent of 2 children now.
Well, he's barely home anyway.
That's how it be sometimes.
Oh man.
So-
Any more thoughts on Ponyo?
It was fun. Now it's
It
time
was
for
fun.
my
Very
recommendation.
visually entered- Oh god.
So I haven't. Let's keep the Studio Ghibli train rolling.
Velocipasta. Can it please be my name, my neighbor Totoro?
I'm not recommending that.
Damn it.
Actually,
Howl's Moving Castle?
you're gonna be more confused with Howl's Moving Castle. To be honest with you, there's a lot that.
Man,
we
I'm
could
getting the
watch.
hang of it. Slowly.
So I'm actually gonna list some Studio Ghibli movies, and you guys,
And we can vote.
we could. That could be fun. So Whisper of the Heart is about a teenage girl. She's writing a cover of Country Roads, Take Me Home. A parody.
Actually?
Yes, a parody version of Country Roads, Take Me Home. And she wants to be a writer. Ocean Waves is about growing up and the worst relationship in animated history. My Neighbor Totoro is about 2 new little girls moving to a new house and they encounter mystical spirits.
That's my vote.
We got Earwig and the Witch. A little girl gets adopted by a witch.
Oh yeah.
No.
Come
Howl's
on.
Moving Castle is about a hatter that gets cursed to be 90 years old, so she must hunt down a wizard to help her out. Tales from Earthsea, a king is murdered by his son, and then there's dragons fighting. The Tale of the Princess Kaguya. A little girl is born after being cut open from a bamboo shoot, and she needs to now become a princess.
Wait, so her mother has been
No,
cut? Wait, what?
she was born from a bamboo shoot.
She's a test tube baby. From bamboo.
It's actually a fairy tale. So they cut open bamboo and a little girl pops out.
And wait, what?
Pom Poko.
Okay, well now we gotta watch that one.
You never cut no bamboo?
So babies be falling out?
Pom Poko. Raccoons can transform their nut sacks to attack humans.
Oh, fuck yeah.
What?
The Cat Returns is a sequel, sort of spin-off to Whisper of the Heart. So I feel like if we watch one, we gotta watch both. My Neighbors the Yamadas is a comedy movie about a bunch of adventures from a family. Kiki's Delivery Service is about a young witch that must learn to hold her own delivery service, help the town, slice of life. Poco Rosso is about a man who's been transformed into a pig and must fight his old rival from World War II in dogfighting.
Is that before or after Spirited Away?
It was made before, and it was also made by Hayao Miyazaki.
So it was. Does that have any relation to the parents turning
No.
into pigs?
No.
Is that just a thing that happens in Japanese media?
It's just a thing that happens in Miyazaki movies.
Okay.
The Wind
Man likes
Rises
pigs.
is about it's a biopic. It's about this man who developed the airplanes used by Japan during World War II and the pros and cons that went into that, including his love life and how he was hunted down after the war was over. The Secret World of Arrietty is based on the Borrower's book. Little people live in a normal house and they must try to steal from the humans. Nausicaa, a story about fighting against the upper class to get your sacred land back. Up on Poppy Hill. This one's controversial.
I did not realize they had this many movies.
Castle in the Sky. Classic.
Wait, what was the controversial one?
Up on Poppy Hill.
Why is it controversial?
Oh, if you pick it.
Well, shit.
Princess
Well, now we gotta pick that one.
Princess Mononoke. Forest spirits are getting corrupt and pollution. And that was the first animated film to win the Japanese Best Picture.
This list is too long for me to choose.
Is there any that popped out to you as like
My Neighbor Totoro? Or the controversial one?
I'm going for Earwig and the Witch.
No! Why do you pick such dog shit movies?
Okay, I'll pick one, you pick one, and we're gonna spin a wheel. So
Well, what's the controversial one about? You didn't even explain anything.
it's not even like a controversial premise. It just okay. Let me explain it.
Well, what's it about?
As Japan recovers from World War II, friendship grows between Umi and Shun, but a secret from their past causes a shadow in their future. And then there's Grave of the Fireflies, but that's not on this list. If you want to get depressed.
Okay, so my picks would be My Neighbor Totoro, Pompoko.
I would love, by the
Or-
way, if we get if I get another suggestion by Thanksgiving to do Thanksgiving. Okay.
And we're allowed to watch that?
Yeah. Do you think that's SAG? I hadn't seen Poco Rosso before. I'll put that on the list. Is there any others, by the way? That
I think we should all just get the one choice.
Okay.
So that you have more of a chance of it landing on yours?
Okay.
This would all be even.
And the movie we're watching is
Fuck yes!
I want to respin.
actually the first movie that is eliminated is
No! Best. No.
What were you gonna say?
It landed on My Neighbor Totoro.
Best out of what?
We are watching My Neighbor Totoro.
Best out of what?
No.
Best two out of three.
No, My Neighbor Totoro.
Actually, that's,
I got what I wanted. I don't know why I made it complicated.
Okay, best 2 out of 3.
This is just for funsies. We're not actually doing this. We're watching My Neighbor Totoro.
Okay.
We are watching My Neighbor Totoro. That was bullshit.
I think it happened the way it happened.
What it landed on first was My Neighbor Totoro.
Yes, but you then said best.
No.
You didn't.
You forced me to finish my sentence.
Yes.
That is coercion in a court of law.
Okay, so the next movie I'm suggesting is Earwig and the Witch. The third film directed by Goro Miyazaki, Miyazaki's son, and the reason why he is disowned.
Well, y'all have fun with that movie. I'm gonna watch My Neighbor Totoro.
No, bro, you gotta watch it.
Why? It's gonna be so bad.
What do you mean?
I'm not gonna want to watch it.
We're gonna have fun.
No, we can watch Totoro. It's no big deal.
Okay, we wait. Did it stop recording? Oh no, we're good.
I was about to freak out.
So we are watching My Neighbor Totoro.
Okay. Since it landed on that first, and you guys gaslit me.
You're having a shit fit.
Gaslit me into thinking that this was the one that got picked. Because you forced me to finish my sentence that I did not fully form into a thought.
I think you felt bad. We wanted the memes.
You guys played on my guilt. That's where I want to be.
Anyway, thank you guys. Can't wait to cut this down. Bye. And that's the end of the podcast. You guys enjoy. Bye.
Happy premiere episode.
Adios.